and congratulations. So, tune in every weeknight at 6:30 on Channel 5 for Wheel of Fortune and see just how much fun we can have. We're looking for your favorite color.
Plaid.
Close.
Plaid.
Wheel of Fortune, weeknights at 6:30 only on Channel 5.
Join the celebration as the St. Louis County Pops kicks off its 10th anniversary season with Richard Heyman's Star-Spangled 4th of July concert. You'll see stars all summer long. Doc Severinsen, Mitch Miller, Frankie Lane, and Ferranti and Teicher. Enjoy concerts featuring Broadway tunes, movie themes, big band sounds, and all-time Pops favorites. Don't miss a single performance. Call 533-2500 for your season tickets and save up to 20%. The Pops at Queenie Park, 533-2500.
Double good time, have a double great day. Double your pleasure the Double Mint way. Get the single most favorite double in the world. Double good, Double Mint gum.
You'll really double your pleasure with Double Mint gum, because it's double good, double fresh, double smooth, always double delicious to chew.
Double good, Double Mint gum.
Double your pleasure with Double Mint gum.
This is KSDK Channel 5 St. Louis. First in information. And now, Dick Ford, Jennifer Blome, and Bob Richards with St. Louis weather.
This evening, we'll take a look at earthquake insurance and if you really need it.
This is the news at 5 on 5.
Well, good evening. You know, computer technology is creating a new type of criminal.
One who breaks into computers to steal data or to have fun, as in the movie War Games. Local and federal authorities are cracking down on computer crime. And in tonight's Focus 5, Mike Owens takes a look at what's being done to curb computer criminals.
First among the top stories of this day, the St. Louis Evening News had a very short life, just 21 issues. Publisher Jeffrey Gluck says that's all it took to convince him there is no market for that paper. Gluck says his attempt to start a new afternoon newspaper in St. Louis was taking money away from his Morning Globe Democrat. Now that money and the Evening News staff will be used to expand the Globe. Gluck says he just couldn't sell enough copies of the afternoon paper to break even.
The circulation of the Evening News was in the 20s. Consistently, and it was something that we projected as being in the 50s within the first week. And because of that, we felt the response was so poor, and that after studying each method of selling papers, we felt that the response was poor in every area, so poor that it wasn't even close. It was not even in the ballpark.
Gluck says he has the theory that many St. Louisans are still treating the Post-Dispatch as their afternoon paper. He says they buy it during the day and then take it home to read it in the evening.
Striking operating engineers in St. Louis could take step 2 on Saturday in getting construction work back to normal here. The union, Local 513, and St. Louis area quarry operators reached a tentative agreement this afternoon. The union members approved a new contract with ready-mix concrete firms last night. Now, only the strike against sand and gravel companies remains unsolved. Federal mediator Tom O'Brien suggested a solution during today's 4-hour negotiating session. Both sides accepted it, subject to membership approval. The specific details of that were not given. A county jury gave Walter Harvey the death penalty today in the 1982 killing of Gary Decker. But the jury heard only half the case, the prosecution side, and the sentence and verdict are expected to be overturned by the Missouri Supreme Court. Public Defender Jack Walsh told Channel 5 News today that the reason he sat silent throughout the trial was that he was unprepared for the case. He says he asked for a postponement repeatedly and was denied. Researchers say they can find no precedent for Walsh's behavior anywhere in the country. Well, East St. Louis police say they still don't have a link between a fatal shooting and another shootout several blocks away. 16-year-old Richard Martin was fatally wounded about 1 this morning while walking in the 1500 block of North 44th Street. That is a little more than just a block from his home. 6 hours later, a police chase of a stolen car ended on a parking lot at 40th and Waverly. One of 3 youths in the car fired at officers. They returned the fire, but apparently no one was hit. 2 of those in the car escaped, but a juvenile was captured. The car had been spotted by its owner, who began the chase before police joined in.
Iraq claims to have hit a big naval target south of Iran's main port terminal in the Persian Gulf. There's been no independent confirmation of that report. An Iraqi spokesman says the attack is part of Iraq's plan to tighten the blockade of all Iranian ports. Israel's defense minister told the U.S. Defense Secretary Weinberger today why Israel opposes the U.S. sale of anti-aircraft missiles to Saudi Arabia. U.S. officials say that Moshe Aarons met with Weinberger in Washington for a half an hour today today. Aarons told Weinberger that Israel is afraid the missiles will fall into the hands of terrorists. President Reagan says the nation's future is looking up. The president was speaking at the Air Force Academy in Colorado. He told the grads their generation has gone from space fiction to space shuttles. And he says the benefits that are coming back from that work in space dazzle the imagination.
Well, Missouri has a new state auditor. Governor Christopher Bond announced today the appointment of 48-year-old Republican Margaret Kelly. She is the first woman to hold a statewide elective office in Missouri. Kelly replaces James Antonio, who resigned to become chairman of the Governmental Accounting Standards Board. Kelly is married and the mother of 3 sons. She is a CPA with 19 years experience in public accounting. She'll take office on July the 16th. Well, did you go out this morning and take a look at the eclipse?
No, I didn't, but there were some very strange shadows on the ground today, I'll say that. In some areas of the country, the sky darkened visibly as the moon's shadow crossed the sun.
1, 2, 3. Hello. We never played an eclipse before.
20 years ago, it would have been called a happening, but in downtown Atlanta, it turned into a rock and roll celebration. As noon approached, Central City Park began filling with a much larger than normal lunch crowd. Thousands of office workers, shoppers, or just curious passers-by came to witness the once-in-a-lifetime event. Warned to avert their eyes from the crystal blue sky, most came prepared with special devices for viewing the celestial wonder. Anything from handouts provided by a fast food chain to the old reliable cardboard box with a pinhole puncture. Some set up elaborate displays for others to share. As the eclipse reached its zenith at 12:23, the growing darkness prompted office buildings and even some motorists to turn on their lights.
I think it's wonderful. I'm tempted to look up. I'm trying not to, but I think it's just great, you know.
And I kind of missed it because I was trying to find a parking place. But other than that, it was real exciting.
In spite of all the fancy methods man could devise, nature herself provided a perfectly safe and beautiful view of the eclipse, reflected many times over in the shadows of tree leaves on the pavement, a phenomenon most seemed to overlook as they hurried back to their normal routines. Paul Crawley for NBC News in Atlanta.
Well, in St. Louis, the eclipse was far from total, but it did cast a shadow that gave many people an eerie feeling. The moon moved across the sun from the right to the left, leaving the top third of the sun visible. The progression was by stages. First, 30% of the sun was shaded, then 50%, and finally 70%. That was the peak, and in St. Louis, it came at 11:20 this morning. People used various devices for looking at the eclipse. That was to avoid direct eye contact, which causes eye damage. The entire movement took about an hour and 20 minutes.
Strange. Really weird looking.
What do you mean?
It seems just dark. It's getting dark now.
But not really dark?
No, just a weird looking light.
So worth it?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. You don't get to see them that often. It's weird. The light's weird outside.
It is the last solar eclipse to be visible here this century.
Well, there are only 16 years left in this century. We're getting closer all the time, you know. Well, Bob, it was quite a phenomenon today.
It was quite a phenomenon. It was almost as if Mother Nature was putting a pair of sunglasses up in the sky, an eerie feeling, but it's all over for now. Next one won't be for several years. We had a low temperature this morning of 45. Our high of the day was 71. That's our present temperature. It's kind of interesting to think about. Without the eclipse today, we could have been about 2 or 3 degrees higher, but the sun was blocked out just long enough to suppress our temperature. 71 degrees right now, 31% relative humidity. The winds are out of the northwest at 12. The barometer's falling off from 30.19 inches of mercury. This evening, no eclipse, fair skies, mild temperatures. The thermometer drops off to 61 degrees. Today's allergy count is in, and we show mold at 13, grass at 8, and pine at 5. We'll look ahead towards the rest of the week. It's going to be a beaut. We'll have that and more in about 15 minutes. See you then.
Okay, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Computer crimes. How easy is breaking into someone else's computer?
Our focus report coming up next.
Reed Chevrolet.
Reed Datsun.
Both with one sales philosophy: to save you money with warehouse pricing. At Reed Chevrolet, a new air-conditioned Cavalier, just $74.95.
At Reed Datsun, immediate delivery on Sentras, Maximas, and 300ZXs.
Long 60-month financing on selected models.
8.8% financing on all Datsun trucks.
Reed Chevrolet, 367 north of I-270.
Reed Datsun, 159, 5 miles south of St. Clair Square.
There's a logical idea in this Frigidaire washer. The logical idea? 4 jets of water to soak and rinse clothes. Another is the dial on our range. You see, it isn't just beautiful, it's readable, even 12 feet away. There's another logical idea in this refrigerator. Separate temperature zones, because different foods keep best in their own climate. Add longevity to the list, and there's a logical conclusion. Frigidaire, logical ideas that last.
Well, the computer has been heralded as the savior of big business and the homemaker. It can forecast sales and balance a checkbook. Channel 5's Mike Owens reports, though, tonight on Focus 5, that the computer age has also brought forth the computer crook.
The movie War Games drew attention to the misuse of the computer. In the movie, a youngster uses his home computer to break into a Defense Department computer and almost starts World War III.
We're in. Shall we play a game? Let's play. Global thermonuclear war.
The experts say the movie is not far removed from reality.
Given enough time and given the proper set of circumstances, you probably can get into most of the systems that exist today.
Hackers are people who break into computer systems for fun and games. McDonnell Douglas Automation, or McAuto, runs computers for hundreds of clients. The firm doesn't want hackers getting into its computers. Congress is working on a law to take that fun and games aspect out of hacking. Already, Missouri and Illinois have laws against unauthorized computer access.
It makes it illegal to tamper with the computer itself, the equipment, the physical equipment. It's a violation to tamper with intellectual property, which is the software, the computer tapes. And it's also a violation to tamper with computer users. And this section includes specifically hackers.
This is a central processing unit, or CPU, the ultimate goal of a computer crook or a hacker. However, it's not so easy to get into a CPU. There are some safeguards.
There are hardware safeguards that are built into the system. There are software password safeguards that says you have to have a set of numbers or a name for you to enter this system or any other one.
McAuto sets up computer roadblocks, which require passwords and ID numbers for users. But in many cases, the roadblocks are worth more than the information they protect.
Oftentimes, it doesn't pay to have a sophisticated computer security system because of the cost.
Computer experts say the problem of unauthorized access by hackers is not as serious a problem as computer company employees stealing computer information.
How do you prevent an employee who has the capability, the time, and the authority to enter your system from doing something he's not supposed to do?
Like set up a little consulting firm on the side.
You're right.
Has that been done?
Yes, some cases, yeah.
What do you do to an employee who does that? The unauthorized use of authorized information?
I think we would terminate him. That's theft of an employee and a company resource.
Both city and county police are just gearing up their computer crime units. So far, the county has handled just 4 cases in 1 year, all involving former employees of computer firms. Mike Owens, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
When it comes to computer crime, as Mike Owens has indicated, the individual states seem to be way ahead of the federal government. Illinois outlawed what they call hacking in 1979. Missouri passed its computer crime law in 1982. But in Congress, the House Judiciary Committee was supposed to meet this week on a new computer crime bill. That hearing has been delayed, and a new hearing date has yet to be set.
Well, do you carry earthquake insurance? After all, we are near the New Madrid Fault.
Well, consumer reporter Ann Thompson is up next, and she'll tell you if we need that kind of coverage.
Do you know what drug interaction really is? Most people don't.
If you take just 2 different prescriptions, a dangerous, yes, even fatal drug interaction can occur. Don't be misled. No other drug chain in the St. Louis area offers computerized drug interaction monitoring. Only Medicare Glaser pharmacies and drug centers have it. Help protect your health. Bring your next prescription to a Medicare Glaser pharmacy or drug center.
From now on, there's a better way to glue. The Thermogrip brand hot glue gun is perfect for easy repairs because it sets in 60 seconds. Thermogrip bonds to almost anything without clamping or mixing. Thermogrip creates beautiful crafts because its unique trigger controls the amount of glue. Thermogrip even caulks windows and tile, all without any odor or mess. The Thermogrip hot glue system from Emhart. The future of gluing is here today. Thermogrip.
When your bug alarm goes off, kill those bugs the easy way with Ortho Tomato and Vegetable Insect Killer. It's ready to use. It's easy with Ortho.
When you think of the home insurance you need, you probably think of the basics, fire and theft. But have you ever considered earthquake insurance? Consumer reporter Ann Thompson is thinking about it, and that's the topic of her story tonight, Ann.
Jennifer, if you haven't thought about earthquake insurance, your insurance man will probably tell you to, and 2 recent events are why. The first event occurred just a little over a year ago. Like many other people in our area, the earthquake during the night of May 14, 1983 probably woke you up. Its epicenter occurred here in Jamestown, Illinois, but caused damage throughout the St. Louis area. The second event happened in Washington this past April, and it concerned the New Madrid Fault centered in southeastern Missouri.
The pressure has built up on that fault to where we would expect an earthquake of something in the neighborhood of a 7.5 magnitude. That would be a very major earthquake.
As a result, more and more people are buying earthquake insurance.
The price is right, and they're predicting an earthquake. And for peace of mind, the $40, $50 a year, I think it's a good buy.
Just how good a buy is it? Well, the price depends on the value of your house and what kind of house you own. We called 4 major insurance firms and found if you have a frame house, you will pay anywhere from 30 cents to 40 cents per $1,000 value on your house. If you own a brick house, you will pay between 39 and 65 cents per $1,000 value of your house. Most policies carry a 2% deductible. But is this insurance necessary?
I would not be surprised to see an earthquake of magnitude 6 to 6.5, this moderately large size earthquake, occur even in my lifetime, which would be, say, by the end of the century, perhaps.
However, Dr. Nutley does not think the earthquake will reach 7.5 on the Richter scale, as predicted by the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
Well, actually, what we're talking about is a moderately large earthquake of magnitude about 6 to 6.5. That's about the size of the earthquake that destroyed the town of Coalinga in California in May of 1983.
Dr. Nutley says that such a quake would crack chimneys, plaster, and overturn water heaters here in the St. Louis area. Jennifer, and by the way, there's an earthquake conference going to be held in St. Louis this weekend. Thank you, Ann.
Whitey Herzog would like to have a little earthquake to shake up the Cardinals.
Yeah, they really aren't playing very well, Dick. By the way, we will televise again tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock. First on the menu tonight, not all sports at the Summer Olympic Games will be awarded medals to winners. You may be surprised to know that. Baseball and tennis are 2 of those sports classified as demonstration sports with no medals awarded. Tennis will be introduced as a demonstration sport in this summer's Olympic Games in Los Angeles. There is one catch, and it's a big one. The International Tennis Federation, in an effort to pare down the Olympic field, has limited qualifying to those 20 and under, with no distinction between pro and amateur status. It means we will see the likes of Mats Wilander, American Jimmy Arias, Kathy Horvath, and Andrea Jaeger. The decision to let the pros play left the amateurs little hope of making the team, but not all of them see it that way.
I think it's probably a good rule if it's just exhibition. That way it just gives some of the younger players a chance to get the experience with some of the better players, even if some of them are players like Andrew Yeager.
I think it's fine this year because it's only a demonstration sport in the Olympics, but next year, like in '88, when it becomes gold, I think it should be just for amateurs alone.
This could be the hint, first of all, of having tennis as an Olympic sport, and secondly, a hint that maybe the Olympics will be open to all athletes, amateur and professional, sometime in the future. We'll have to wait and see. The amateur versus professional business is something the Olympic people have been struggling with for a long time, and it's something they're going to have to solve in the not-too-distant future, I would think. Suggestion? Allow each nation to send their best athletes, period. No pro, no amateur, just the best. On tonight's sports calendar, well, first of all, it features the Cardinals-Astros game from the Houston Astrodome. Dugout tonight begins at 7 o'clock. I'll have an interview, a very interesting one, with Darryl Porter about his new book. Also tonight, they had all kinds of problems with rain over the weekend at the Bush Youth Invitational Soccer Tournament, and they're going to play the championship games tonight beginning at 6 o'clock at the new soccer park in Fenton.
You say Porter's book is dynamite, huh?
It is outstanding. It's not very entertaining, but it's very revealing, and I think anyone with teenage kids should get it for them and let them read it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Well, it was a lovely day out there today, and it's going to be even warmer tomorrow.
Bob Richards will have his complete forecast next.
Brought to you by your independent Lennox air conditioning and heating dealers of Greater St. Louis and Illinois.
How much can our electric heat pumps really save you?
It's cut our total energy bill about 45%.
Call one of these dealers today. Ryan Heating Company has serviced South St. Louis since 1926. That's what makes it Ryan country.
If you live in the North County area, call El Zambate Heating and Air Conditioning with over 35 years experience.
Lennox joins Union Electric in inviting you to be energy wise and use electric heat.
Dare to compare. Watch how the Texas Instruments professional computer makes software perform even better than the IBM PC. Look. Same software titles, but TI displays more information with a sharper picture and twice the colors. TI even displays data faster. See your dealer for the Texas Instruments professional computer. TI makes the best software perform even better.
The fourth graders at Seven Holy Founders School in Afton had me out there today. I wanted to thank them and really tell them I had a great time. Right now we have a temperature of 71 degrees here in St. Louis and in Afton. Mostly sunny skies as we speak. The humidity is quite low at 31%. Winds are out of the northwest at 12. And the barometer is falling off from 30.19 inches of mercury. Nationwide, it's the meteorological sandwich with clear skies in between, surrounded by rain on either coastline. We do have rain in the form of scattered thunder over the Rockies and into the far west. More rain up and down the eastern seaboard with some big flooding problems going on over in northern New Jersey, where the Passaic River just outside of New York City is flooding for the second time this season. Major problems there, but in between, it's high and dry. The satellite view tells all with cloud-free conditions over the Midwest. We do have a few high clouds. They're so thin, they're not even making it to the satellite picture. And with nothing coming in from the west, another fair weather pattern will continue, at least till Thursday and Friday. Right now over the bi-state area, it's warmed up considerably today over yesterday, with temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. Tomorrow, add about 10 degrees to what you see, and that's what we'll have tomorrow at 5 o'clock. This evening, no big weather-related problems. Skies fair, temperatures mild, as the thermometer drops about 10 degrees over the next 5 hours. Overnight, it will be cool, but not quite as nippy as it was last night. Overnight lows tonight will drop into the low 50s, and then tomorrow, we're on a roll. Mostly sunny and warm with a sunburn index of 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. Our high temperature will reach about 84 degrees. Friday will perhaps be the warmest day of the year so far, and we'll tell you why tonight at 6.
Okay, Bob. I'm going to take you back a few years. Back to those years when a young St. Louis area musician sang Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll. Well, late today, those words were as true as ever. That musician was a young guitar player-songwriter named Chuck Berry. And we know what happened to him. He went on to become one of the pioneers of rock and roll music. Late this afternoon, he was guest of honor at a party for Rock and Roll Beer, a private label beer brewed for Blueberry Hill. That's the bar in University City. Berry's the first rock artist to be featured on a series of rock and roll beer cans called the Heroes of Rock and Roll. At today's party, Berry was modest about his contributions.
Do you consider yourself a hero, a legend of rock and roll?
I very seldom consider myself unless in regard to my health.
When it comes right down to it, the world considers Chuck Berry one of the founding fathers of rock and roll. Do you?
I don't consider myself other than my health. Rock and roll has nothing to do with my health.
Then how do you put yourself in the whole perspective of what rock and roll has become since you started
Well, that's it. I don't judge myself. I let other people judge. See what I'm saying?
In that sense, then, you're pretty satisfied the way everybody else has judged you?
I have no jurisdiction over the way they judge.
Can you imagine the way...
Well, all over Beethoven, more heroes of rock and roll beer cans on rock and roll beer cans are expected soon. He's a fascinating man, isn't he?
He really is. Well, do you have any hobbies in which you make something by hand?
Well, appreciation of handmade items is rising around the country, and still ahead on 5 on 5, we'll have a look at some patchwork wonders.
The weather has been brought to you by Community Federal Savings and Loan, the blue chip of the savings business.
Here's more great news for savers from Community Federal. Now you can earn the kind of rate on long-term certificates you've been waiting for. 12.11% annual yield based on 11.60% interest on our new 5-year certificate. That's one of the highest yields you'll find anywhere, and all it takes to open one is $500 or more. So if you're looking for a real scoop on some of the highest interest in town, get a 12.11% yield on your money right now at the Blue Chip. Community Federal.
Wheelbarrows, desk chairs, wagons, it's Toyota dealers, anything on wheels deals. Don't miss your last chance to trade in anything with wheels for a brand new Toyota. Toyota dealers are clearing out one of their biggest car and truck selections ever. So right now you can roll, ride, or drive a very hard bargain. Come on in and make your best deal on Toyota Celicas, Tercels, Corollas, and trucks. Then cash in your wheels. Hurry! Anything on wheels deals ends soon. See your Toyota dealer today. He's wheeling and dealing.
Let's go to Karen Foss in the newsroom now with a look at what's coming up at 6 o'clock. Karen?
We'll have new developments in the St. Louis construction strike, and you'll learn the first casualty in the recent round of newspaper competition. Tom O'Neill will have a health team report about the reliability of allergy tests, and I'll introduce you to Lieutenant Colonel George Reed, a man who's waited a long time for thanks from a grateful nation. These stories and more in 30 minutes on Channel 5.
Well, tonight on Cover Story, Kathy Leonard continues her series For Pet's Sake. So far, it's been a very happy series because most pet owners love and care for their animals, but of course others do not, and that's sad. Thousands of dogs and cats are abandoned by their owners every year, and thousands of them are put to sleep because they're unwanted. That's tonight on the Eyewitness News Update at 10.
Well, the art of quilting is alive and well, and that's especially true in a small Tennessee town where a group called the Jolly Dozen have been quilting for 30 years. Ellen Schumann reports on this inner circle.
I hope it's not as hot as it was last year.
I sent her some pot holders and pretty cards. She told me to call her collect, too.
Every Monday, just after dawn, and sometimes on Wednesdays, the back of Lola Mae Averett's grocery becomes the workshop of the Jolly Dozen.
Well, now, don't cuss, call us.
There are a few quiet moments, but much more often, conversation comes in great bursts and fills the little grocery store, often with everyone talking at once.
Oh, I just glad you mean this. We don't care if you take care of it.
The Jolly Dozen began gathering in Linden, Tennessee in 1953. Or was it 54? No one remembers for sure exactly when it was.
But we just started quilting for ourselves and for people that their home would burn. We'd quilt them a quilt.
Lola Mae is one of the original Jolly Dozen. That's Lola Mae, just to the right of center in this old newspaper photo. All except 4 of the originals have either moved away or passed away.
Well, I have a time of thread my needle. Lola Mae, you ain't had much better luck than I am. Leave the eyes blinking. I thread the wrong end most of the time.
Selling their quilts at $150 or $200 a piece gives the owner a profit of $25 to $35 they once figured. But they say even though things are tough, they don't plan to raise their prices.
look at it like this. We think, well, we've got to live and let live. We don't want to rob nobody.
Most of these women say they learned to quilt when they were very young.
My grandmother learned me how to quilt, and I sat in a high chair at the end of the quilt. And she learned me how to quilt. And if I didn't quilt like she wanted me to, she'd take it out.
On pretty days, the quilts are displayed in Lola May's front yard to attract passers-by. It works, she says.
You'll see, if you sit out and look, you'd see how many nearly wrecks trying to look at them going by. It's great fun to do that. And I don't think we make much, but we have a good time together.
Jennifer wanted me to tell you that this story put her in stitches.
Yeah, you've made your point.
That's our 5 o'clock news. Don't forget to join Stan and Karen at 6. Good night.
Oh, as you
Darn
say.
it.